Hey everybody. New project. This is, you may remember a long time ago, a year ago, at Hobby Lobby, they had a bunch of these joy signs and I bought them on clearance after Christmas for about 75% off, I think. And so got them for $3 a piece. They were red and white. And I can tell you that I was back at Hobby Lobby, now this was a couple of weeks ago now, and I looked for these and I saw white ones. I don't know about red, or now am I remembering that incorrectly? They had red and not white. It doesn't matter. Your Hobby Lobby may not have any, they may have both, I don't know. But these were back this year. So, but I bought several last year, and you know, Hobby Lobby, it's almost always half price. So these were marked $11.99 last year. I don't know what they're marked this year, but half price, or wait till after Christmas and see if you can find some. So I found them after Christmas. I just stashed them away. Now this one has been in my studio here for a week or so as I was getting ready for this video, and then I accidentally dropped something and knocked and broke the J off of here. I've glued it back on. You can see a little bit of a line. So this may just end up being my prototype, my display piece, if you will. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a glass circle that's bigger than this, but you know, essentially about this size. And I probably will use, well, I don't know for sure yet. I'm thinking French vanilla, but I like to use this green and white wispy glass scrap, and I use my nippers here, and I nip it up into different shards. Don't dig around in here, use a tool or something to dig, but various shards, and then use those to build Christmas tree. And so I'm going to, this is clearly too big, but I'm going to cut a base piece of glass, and then I'm going to build a Christmas tree on there, fire it, and then I'm going to glue it to this piece, and I think it'll make a nice little seller at my shows. So I am going to go ahead and start that. I'm going to decide what color glass I'm going to use and cut my circle, start to build out my tree, and then we'll fire it, see how this thing turns out. All right, so I have just a little bitty piece of kiln shelf here. I had an old one that I had cut up, and so I'm just going to build it on that. I've got a little piece of paper, and I traced the inner circumference of that O with just pencil on here so that I don't go outside the lines, because I want this to be able to fit very nicely into that O. You probably, well, you might be able to see it a little bit, but I can faintly see that line well enough to know that I won't go past it. So I am going to now start to build my little tree. All right, there we go. So now this is, you have to really think about your firing schedule. This is multiple layers. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is also an irid French vanilla. I just decided a little zhuzhing it up a little bit. So I've got one layer of base glass, 2, 3, 4, and even this cardinal is pretty tall. This is a gorgeous cardinal Murrini from Lori Moreno at Wilderness Glass. She does absolutely beautiful work and created these fun cardinals, and these cardinals are what sell my trees, hands down. Anyway, so this is, I'm going to consider this, what did I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers thick. So Bullseye has an annealing schedule for thick slabs, and because this is going to be more or less tack fused, it is not a full fuse, you have to add even extra time. So I'm going to look at the Bullseye annealing schedule and decide on my firing, but whatever the annealing is for this, so let's say it's a 5-hour hold, I may actually double it and make it 10, which I know is a long time in the kiln, but I'm extra conservative when it comes to these kinds of pieces, because I just want, you know, I'm selling them and I want them to go off to good homes and to survive, and I don't want anything to crack. So I'm going to be extra conservative with this kind of firing. Now that said, I think that the you know, I'm going to make a whole bunch of these trees. I got some other projects, so it's not going to be, you know, like I'm wasting a bunch of time. You could cut down a layer or two. You could probably get away without doing this top layer here that I did, these 3 pieces. I just wanted some extra texture to them. Some of these branches are going to droop down, but it's okay because it all looks cool in the end. So I fire these, gosh, I can't remember my schedule. Rather than guess, I'll just go figure it out. As always, I put the schedule in my video notes on YouTube, so you can always go find it there. But I'm gonna go think about how high I need to fire these. I just gotta go back to my notes there and then pull up the Bullseye annealing. If you're interested in the annealing schedule from Bullseye, it's a link that's in my link tree. Toward the very bottom, I have kind of popular resources that I go back to often. So you can find the Bullseye thick slab annealing schedule in my link tree there. All right, let's go fire this thing. All right, so I could glue the glass onto the joy itself, but you know, sometimes glass moves and it can crack if it doesn't have enough wiggle room. And so instead I decided to use these, they're offset canvas art clips, and this is just an 1/8 inch, which is just perfect for one single layer of glass. And all I'm gonna do, this is like a resin, so you can't drill into this very well. So I'm just gonna glue onto it using my favorite glue. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little dab kind of on the bottom side of this clip and place it here to hold my glass. I just moved that by accident ever so slightly. Did not mean to do that. And then I'm going to just hold it down and blop, splooch, smooth, smush some over there. That should hold it just fine. I'm gonna do the same to this. I decided to go with the red one. I told you that's the other one that I had that I was doing the mock-up had broken. I don't want to try to sell that, so and I have the red and the white. Again, I don't remember what they have in stores this year. Well, I guess I shouldn't say remember, I just don't know. When I went, they had one color, not the other. I just can't remember. That's the memory problem. Can't remember which one they had and which one they didn't. But I decided this red I thought was going to look really nice, and there we go. So now this takes 24 hours. I'm gonna let this set up. But those 2 clips, which I got on Amazon, by the way, they're in my Amazon store. Those 2 clips will be enough to hold that glass in. It's not gonna come out. And so we'll let that set up and see what it looks like when it's dry. All right, I have a bunch of these joys, so I decided to make a bunch of inserts for them, and I just wanted to show you this one in particular. So I use steel blue. If you're not familiar with steel blue, it generally looks like this before it's fired, and then it can turn to this steel when it is fired, but I worried this would happen. It's so finicky. So you have to have it perfectly clean, which I think I did. But as you can see, even the Bullseye brand glue, the glass tack glue that Bullseye sells, still shows up on this silver. I would have had to place these on here and not use any glue, and then it probably would have been okay. I thought that silver would look cool inside this red one, and I may redo this and try again. I'm a little disappointed because it's a waste of Murrini. This is beautiful snowflake Murrini from Lori Moreno at Wilderness Glass, and then of course her Cardinal. But this piece is pretty much ruined. I think the theory is if you bring it up to a full fuse again, this silver often disappears and it turns back to blue. But a full fuse is going to make this look real wonky the way everything's going to spread out. So this may just go in the scrap heap because I'm just not happy. If I were to take that to a show and try to sell it, I'm just not happy with the way that glue shows up against that silver. So there's a little advice for you if you're a Bullseye user and you're playing around with steel blue. It can be fun to play with, and this look is really neat. But boy, it shows everything. Every little fingerprint, every little sticker that was on there from a price tag. If you don't get all of that cleaned off, then it's going to fire real funny for you. So just wanted to let you know about that. All right, and here you go. This is the red one. I love that French vanilla. I love the opaline dots to be snowflakes there. Sorry if you hear the snoring dog on my lap behind me. I also had this joy in white, and so and you know I used transparent glass here, which was really cool. This was a blue, and I liked how that turned out. This one is more of an opaque blue, still very pretty. Look at those snowflakes from Wilderness Glass. Really cool. I just love how they look. They didn't look good on French vanilla, but they look wonderful on these colors. And then this turquoise glass. I took these to a show this weekend and sold them for $45 each. Really happy with that. Hope you enjoyed this. Catch you later. Bye-bye.